Sprint 6, and I'm going to showcase in this movie an overview of RapidApps by building a small applications on the cloud, deploy it to the cloud, all in a matter of minutes with no coding required. The application that is generated is a real application built on top of the Bluemix PaaS environment for your browser as well as mobile devices. Before I start with a sample application, some context. Bluemix is a PaaS. It has a dashboard that allows you to mesh and deploy applications and services across deployment spaces. RapidApps provide a dumbed-down version of this dashboard with a few buttons, focused mainly on business developers to create and deploy their applications. With RapidApps, you could use your browser to build an app, preview and deploy it. The tooling underneath it is a Bluemix extension service, and the first time you create an app, the dashboard will create a service for you in your space and dedicate a runtime to support it. As you build the application, the tooling will allow you to preview on a mobile device emulator or a browser, and when you are ready, you could deploy it on the cloud, running a real application on its own URL. Okay, the application I'm going to be building here is for a duty manager on call. The manager may need to look up and call a specific developer to support a level 3 problem off hours. To do this, the manager will need an access to an up-to-date level 3 support registry, probably managed by a different application. And using this information, the manager on call can instigate a text or email message to be sent to the developer on call to call back for support. A record of this call and message will be recorded and tracked. And oh, by the way, the manager should be able to run this messaging app from his browser or his mobile device. Let me show here how to create this duty manager application with RapidApps. To save some time, I already made the employee profile information securely available to my cloud and created an adapter configuration to use it. So I'm going to use this adapter configuration here to access an up-to-date developer profile information that originated from my enterprise. Okay, I added the level 3 developer's profile records to my application. Now, let me create an object that will store the messages records that manager will create as they submit a message request to the app. Next, I'm going to link the developer's name to the name property in the level 3 developer records. This will allow my application to navigate to the developer's emails and SMS specifics. Okay, so we have the data that we need ready, so let me create application screens. For now, I'm going to create just two screens, the screen to request an SMS message sent to the level 3 developer, and an acknowledgement screen. In this screen, a manager will pick the employee and will request an SMS message to be sent to them. So I'll create a form out of the call records object, and as you could see, there is a quick pick icon shown, and this is because there is a link from the developer's property to the level 3 record. So let me customize a bit the form that will be shown here. And now for the quick pick, when searching for a developer, we will have two subscreens that will come up. One is the master screen, for which we will search for a particular employee. Let me select the columns that will be visible, and name and project makes sense to me. A manager on a search will be able to search on one of these columns. Create now the acknowledgement screen with some message. Cool, so I have my message drilling down to the level 3 developer's name. And for a final touch on this screen, let me create a little button to navigate back to the message sent screen. I'll hook the navigation rule for this form as well. Set this screen to be the initial application screen as well. Cool, so we have data, we have screens. Now let's set up a trigger on the server so that the creation of a call record will fire up an SMS email. This will work regardless if the app posted that record or if the record was added through a REST API. Okay, my job here is done. Let me check it out in an emulator. The emulator will run the actual application. So as it accesses the profile information from here for the quick pick, it will authenticate to get my credentials to make sure I could get it. And let me select myself here. It would send me an SMS. My phone is here. I could make sure it works. Okay, so the record is actually posted and got my SMS. Cool, this is working. Alright, so let's recap. We built an application, tested it in the mobile emulator. I could also test the application using a browser from the dashboard. Now, when I'm ready, I can deploy the application as a formal Bluemix application with its own specific URL, as well as I could deploy it on a mobile device by using the RapidApps test application, or download the Cordova project, build it, and deploy it myself.